Today is Monday, October 26th, 2020. All right, so this is another episode of the Northern Cardinal podcast. I believe this is the fourth episode. So here I am along with your host, Yesenia Velasquez. I almost forgot my last name. Along with your co host,
Julie.
Yay! And then today we're going to be talking about some topics. But first, before we head into the good stuff, Julie needs to say something first.
Yeah, it's super important.
Okay.
All right. Well, so like the last podcast episode, we were talking about feelings and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I was trying to explain what it's like to be in love, and my description was absolutely horrible, and I did not give it justice at all. So I wrote something better that conveys how it's like, I suppose. And obviously the last one was not good because I'm really bad at expressing feelings verbally, and I'm so much better at writing them out. Like, you know that.
Of course.
Yeah, especially when it comes to love, because like love is such like a touchy topic, and it's it's a
just
weird
mushy.
topic to talk about as well. It's very mushy as well. Love is just like such a weird concept too, but that's like a whole different story that we're not gonna get into.
Yeah, that's very philosophical and deep.
Sorry. So I'm gonna keep this short, so I'm gonna read what I wrote down here. So what I wanted to explain about how it's like to be in love is that people who are in love generally feel a powerful sense of empathy toward their beloved, feeling the other person's pain as their own, and being willing to sacrifice anything for the other person in a healthy way, of course. For instance, feeling them as part of yourself. Someone could feel like you can't live without them because if they're gone, you feel like nothing. That's also like some deep stuff. But like, that's technically what I found off of Google. But like, that's technically how it also feels like too. But obviously, you also have to figure out what is the healthy type of love and an unhealthy type of love. My gosh, talking with my containers is so hard.
Containers?
my
Retainers?
Containers. Talking with my containers is so hard. Yeah, with my retainers, because like it's.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a list, but with your Invisalign on.
Thank you for telling me I have a list.
Yeah, you have a slight lisp. It's not really noticeable, but in some words you can notice there's a slight lisp.
Yes, everybody. Yeah, I have a retainer now, so I can't talk normally.
I mean, it's not that bad. People can still understand you.
But it sounds odd than normal, but you know.
Yeah, but I mean, once you get used to it, it won't be that bad. Because when I had my retainers, and when I wore it for the first time, it was really weird. But after I got used to them and got used to talking with them, I didn't have a lisp anymore.
Well, we'll see, because like this is still like my first week with them. Like not even a week yet. Until Thursday, it's a week. But you know, we'll see if I still have a lisp or not.
I mean, how long are you going to have your Invisalign for?
I don't technically know. I think they mentioned something about 8 months.
Oh, that's short. That's so short. Dang.
Because my teeth don't technically really need a lot of like realigning as majorly as other people do.
Yeah.
So they guessed about 8 months, or like technically shorter, because I'm gonna be wearing them for like quite a few hours each day. So
I feel like for you, it's not gonna be that bad, because when I had braces, I didn't have the choice to be all bougie and get an Invisalign. I had to use the wires, and they were so much more painful. And I wore them for about 2 years. I remember wearing them 8th grade, middle school, and also ninth grade, high school, and a bit in 10th grade. But then I took them off, in tenth grade. But yeah, it was so painful. But at the same time, my teeth were really, really messed up. Like my two canine teeth were very pointy and they were like upwards. And then my teeth on the bottom, they were just really messy too. They weren't in a straight line. One teeth was forward, one teeth was backward. It was so bad. So I needed braces.
Gotta take care of your teeth.
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting you, but as you were saying.
Wait, what? What was I saying?
About love. You were talking about love.
Oh, that was technically it. Well, technically, like, you got to figure out what is healthy and unhealthy love.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, because sometimes it becomes, like, obsessive love.
Yeah.
And, like, that's, like, unhealthy. And then while other people think that's healthy because it's them. But it depends on the situation and stuff, and obviously it has to be mutual. I haven't said that word in forever, but like the feeling has to be mutual, and you both have to like have mutual understanding and like an even leveled ground of the same feelings, because it would be bad if one likes the other and the other one doesn't. That's kind of oof.
Yeah, that's bad. I understand what you mean. It's basically a mutual level of respect. You both respect each other. And not only that, like for example, there's someone you're interested in, and then that person is in a relationship. Of course, you're not going to go and try to sway them over and try to get them to break up with their partner so they can be with you. Because if you were in their partner situation, and let's say you were in their shoes and you're with someone, but then somebody else is trying to get with the person that you're with, I don't think you'd be happy with that. You wouldn't like it for another person to try to be involved in your situation, which is why people need to respect other people's relationships, because too many people think, oh, I can just steal your partner, or that person doesn't deserve you because you're this and this. So basically, really basically the lesson is just respect. Just respect other people just the way you'd want other people to respect you.
Respect others, yourself, and your partner. Yeah. Especially when you're in a relationship, you're like committed in the relationship. So like, you can't just bail out for no certain reason. You gotta like commit to it. You signed up for it, technically. So, I mean, yep.
Yeah, but at the same time, also respect yourself too, like you mentioned, because too many people are out here thirsting for other people. Ooh. And they just have lack of respect for themselves. They're always like talking to the other person, immediately reading their text, trying to, please them, and, trying to get their approval and their appreciation for them. And I think that's just too much. You also gotta respect yourself as well. Give them space. Give yourself some space. Cool your head down and try not to be so thirsty.
Don't be a simp.
Yeah, I guess. That's the moral of the lesson. Just don't be a simp. There are too many simpers out there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny too. But anyway. The actual topic for today was about Halloween, since this week is the week of Halloween. And when is Halloween? This Saturday. Ooh.
You forgot when Halloween is.
No, I had to check because like I don't pay attention to the calendar anymore. Well,
you just lost count.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Yes, Halloween is this Saturday. That's crazy. So do you celebrate Halloween, or do you have any plans?
How if I do?
Mm-hmm.
I don't technically celebrate Halloween because, like, when I was younger, my parents never allowed me to celebrate Halloween. I've never been able to go trick or treating in all my years, which is sad because they're like, oh, it's not like, it's dangerous or whatever. It's late at night, blah blah blah, overprotective parent stuff. Um, and just like when I was younger, also how I celebrated Halloween was kind of sad too.
Oh, really?
Was
What do
like,
you do?
um, since Halloween is like technically for like spooky stuff and like candy, so most of the time I would like try and get like pieces of candies, like buy them somewhere. Uh, but obviously it wouldn't be as much as other kids and other people who'd go trick or treating, get a bunch. So I didn't have like the that um I lost the word. um, that kind of experience of like getting a bunch of candy from other people, and I obviously also never had like the experience of dressing up, so I could only get candy on my own, sadly. Um, and even then, it wasn't even a lot.
Oh, wow.
And then over time, when I got older as well, I kind of had a little bit less candy. It's just like, candy's just cool, sure, whatever. Um, but then I like mainly focused on more of like Halloween spooky stuff. So like horror movies, try and get into the mood of things like thriller movies or something like that. So that's what I try to do for over the past few years. But then over time, it kind of died down because I couldn't, never had that experience of a great Halloween. Um, but I'd love to and do all of that fun fall spooky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so what I'm gonna do for this year, or this week at least, I didn't. I mean, this month I didn't really look forward. Not really look forward to, but I didn't really think about spooky stuff or Halloween stuff really. But since I found this new Netflix show that I showed you actually about that we were planning to watch, but it might be a bit too much for you since you don't handle like thriller, horror, spooky stuff that well.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I'm not used to spooky stuff a lot. So, I don't have, I mean, I can handle some scary stuff, but not a lot though.
yeah, but then like when you handle it, you said like you have nightmares and stuff. So like I don't want to risk it with you.
Yeah, I get nightmares sometimes, especially when it's scary stuff. But it's more like me being paranoid about Halloween and thinking, oh no, there's gonna be some scary monster behind me. Or when I turn off the light, I'm afraid that there's someone watching me or something like that.
True.
It's dumb.
No, it's not dumb. It's just you're not used to it, so like you get more paranoid easier and stuff. So I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, that's true.
So what was it? Oh yeah, and then so the show I'm gonna binge watch, woo, for spooky week or Halloween or whatever. I don't know what you call it anymore. It's um, it's like a very popular show on Netflix right now, and I was like, why not? Because like I don't know, because like I saw it a little bit and how there's like people say it's good or whatever, and then also like another nudge for me to watch it was like um Jordan's family actually has started watching it as well. He mentioned it uh and then I was like, oh, that show, I heard that show. So like his family's watching it, but he's not watching it because he's just like about it. So I'm like, all right, why not I just try watching it as well. So wait, did I even say the name yet? I don't know.
No, you did not say the name.
Just rambled on about stuff. But so it's called The Haunting of Bly Manor. Bly Manor, yes. Right now, it's number 6 in the U.S. today on Netflix.
Oh, dang. Wow, so it's really popular.
It's very popular, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm probably actually might start it tonight. Who knows? So, what about you?
Yeah, that sounds like fun though. Well, actually for you, but not for me. But what
I'll tell you about it.
Have you watched what's it called? Train to Busan?
Train to Busan? Yes, I have actually.
Oh, dang it. I was thinking of watching it with you because it's a thriller. I mean, is it really scary?
Well, I wouldn't say it's scary at all. I mean, it's like a little suspenseful, but I wouldn't say it's like terrifying. Well, I mean, for me, that is. So, but I would say it's a good movie to watch. For you, I mean, you can watch it at night, but maybe you can like turn on a lamp or something. Because it's not spooky, scary skeletons. It's like it's not gonna like give you like paranoia at night, like it's a ghost or a spirit. But it is suspenseful and it deals with like the post apocalypse kind of deal. And yeah, it's mainly more suspenseful than like horror, thriller, gory kind of stuff. I mean, there's a little gore because obviously zombies, but it's not like other type of horror movies that there's like blood everywhere and stuff like that. It's more tame.
So I see.
I recommend you watching, but like for your mindset, maybe put a lamp on just in case if you're paranoid.
Maybe I'll just be hugging my teddy bear the whole night. I'm kidding. But no, it's understandable. So going back to the question, do I celebrate Halloween? Well, actually, back when I was around in elementary school, I've never dressed up before, but in elementary school, of course, we'd like do stuff with Halloween related. Like we'd get candy, we'd do like Halloween stuff or carve a pumpkin. Not carve a pumpkin, but more like paint it and do stuff like that. What else? Yeah. But that was before my parents were really into the church. I don't know, for some reason, even though we weren't into the church, my parents wouldn't let me go out trick or treating. Because before I wanted to go trick or treating and stuff like that, but my parents wouldn't let me because they were afraid that the neighbors were going to give me candy that wasn't good. How can I say this? I don't know. They just thought I would get like poison candy or something like that. And if I ate the candy, I'd die or like I'd get intoxicated. So they just didn't trust the neighbors for some reason. So my parents wouldn't let me go out trick or treating. However, I think my parents did allow me to give candy to other people. So we would have like this bucket and we would at least give candy to people. But then my dad was like, "Oh no, you guys shouldn't be doing that because you're celebrating Halloween." And I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. I was just like, "Oh, we're just giving candy to other people." But my dad was like, "No." Plus, when my parents got more into the religion that they are now, they were like, "No, you guys shouldn't be celebrating Halloween because from my religion, Halloween is from the devil and people shouldn't be celebrating it because it's more of a devil's holiday than a people's holiday, and it deals more with spirits and its history with the holiday is not a good one because it has like a dangerous history, and because of that the church doesn't allow for Halloween." So from there on, from elementary school to now, I've never celebrated Halloween. Of course, I'll do like some things like, oh, maybe watch a scary movie, but not really. Because I've never really watched scary movies ever in my life because of my parents. I'm not really used to it. And so when I watch something scary, or when my friends make me watch something scary, I get kind of scared. But in the end, when I was younger, I got scared so easily. I think I remember watching this movie. I don't remember what it's called. It was like, it wasn't, what was it called? It had to do with a peach and a little boy.
James in the Giant Peach?
Yes, him. So I remember watching him when I was younger, like in elementary school, and there was this scary part about him going in a peach or something. I don't know, but there was this kind of like a little scary part. And I remember when I was a kid, I was so scared. I was crying. I was crying, and I went up to the teacher, and I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore, and I was crying, and all the other little kids were just staring at me, probably thinking what's wrong with her. But yeah, I was so scared. But now, if I watch it, of course, I wouldn't be scared. Of course, there are some things that I wouldn't be so scared easily because I know it's fake and it's easy to tell. But and there are some things that I can handle, but I wouldn't say I could handle very gory, scary stuff. So I just avoid it. Yeah.
Or like realistic, quote unquote realistic.
Yeah, more realistic, you know.
Like if it's like animation or anything, that's not bad. I mean, sure, they can make it like
scary. Depends. Like, I've seen some animation where it can be bad, but usually not really. It just depends on how realistic. Usually the more realistic ones get me. If it's something about fantasy, then it doesn't really get me. But if it's more realistic, then yes.
Also with like the movie James and the Giant Peach, that's like kind of scary. It's not scary, but it does deal with like some uncomfortable stuff, especially for children. So I don't blame you.
Yeah, but I was the only one crying in the class. Nobody else was like me. Everybody else was just watching it like if it were just any other movie.
I mean, it affects differently with like certain people, so it's like, don't worry, you're fine. Don't worry.
I'm just the odd one out, but it's okay. It's okay. I mean, I'm already used to being unique. Even my name's unique, but it's okay. But yeah, so what are my plans for Halloween? Not anything. Not really anything. Probably just going to do my own thing. Because me and Julie, like she mentioned, she was planning on watching that series or that movie with me.
K-drama.
Wait, no, not the K-drama, the other thing. The thing that you're gonna watch.
Me personally.
Yeah, you're just gonna watch that you personally. You were thinking of watching it with me, but it might be too scary and I might cry, but it's okay. So
not cry, but
maybe not cry, just be a little terrified. But instead of that, we're just gonna be watching a K-drama together, so that'll be interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The only thing, this isn't Halloween related, but for Mexicans, we have El Dia de los Muertos, which basically means the Day of the Dead. But the Day of the Dead is more celebrated with Catholics, and it's not meant to be scary, although a lot of people think it's Mexican Halloween, which is not true. And it's not meant to be scary, it's meant to be a fun holiday. In case, people out there don't know, it's celebrated in November, and like the name says, it's the Day of the Dead. They basically celebrate the dead. So people out there would make altars or offerings for their ancestors, for their families that have already passed away. And they usually make these altars, they put pictures or food or decorations on it so that their ancestors won't be forgotten, and to keep them alive, I guess, through that. But other people think it's not good because it invokes spirits. but that's like a whole nother story. But it's more as a celebration. During that day, people celebrate, go out and do parties, make those altars with their ancestors. They also make a lot of calecas. And they make a lot of sugar skulls. And it's really fun to make because me and my mom, we made them once when I was younger. And it's really fun to make. You put sugar into a mold and then you decorate it on top. And it's really fun to make. And yeah, it's like a small little tradition. But it's just frustrating how people call it Mexican Halloween when it literally has nothing to do with Halloween. Like, I can see how it's related, but it's not like that. So yeah, what about in your culture? Do you guys have something similar or related to Halloween?
To Halloween, for us, no, we don't at all.
I feel like
I
that's
mean,
more of
like,
a
we,
Western holiday.
yeah, yeah, mostly. Uh, I mean, we might have something, but like, we're not technically in touch or in tune with like our culture. Well, I mean, we are, but we're not all that. We don't go all out for it. But I'm pretty sure we don't have anything for like the month of October or like the month of or Halloween or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So there, it's kind of boring.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so the following questions I think we've already mentioned. What do you usually dress up? As for Halloween, what was your favorite costume? What was your favorite Halloween costume? Like I already said, I've never dressed up for Halloween. I think I tried it once. I went to I think before when I was little, I went to like this place and there was like a Halloween corner and I tried to try on some of their costumes. But I've never actually worn a costume and gone somewhere or gone trick or treating. So, yeah, I've never done that.
For me personally, when I wanted to dress up for Halloween, I usually wanted to dress up like an animal or something.
Like a furry?
I don't know about that. But then like I never was able to go out or wear anything. But there was this one year at school when we had like Halloween dress up day or whatever, Halloween day.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever. I did wear my onesie. Because I was like, why not? I don't really have anything, and the onesie kind of works, so like, why not wear it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, back in high school. But would you, like, for every Halloween, would you dress up as something?
No, I wouldn't.
Oh.
I only was able to do that because I got a onesie.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I never dressed up for Halloween at all. Like in high school when we had costume days, I was always like, oh, I'm dressed up as myself, and that's it. That's all you get. Okay. What's your favorite thing to do about Halloween? Okay, this I can kind of answer. One thing I did like and I still like doing is even though of course my parents wouldn't allow me to do it because it's Halloween and it's a holiday of the devil or whatever, but one thing that I did like to do was the pumpkin thing. I would like to design the pumpkin and make a figurine or something like that, and then when I was little I would draw it and then somebody like an adult would go and carve it, and then after that I decorate it. I like doing that when I was a kid, and I still like doing that. Like I think I got the last time I had a chance to decorate a pumpkin was in high school, freshman year for an NHS National Honors Art Society. We got to do that again and it was fun.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's like the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. At least it's something.
Yeah, true.
For me, I never really had a favorite thing about Halloween. What I would like to do in the future would be like going out, doing fall Halloween stuff with friends or not friends, family. they don't really do that. But like with friends and stuff and people I know, mainly like Field of Screams, like spooky stuff, spooky places, and corn mazes, or like pumpkin carving or something like that. Like I kind of mentioned it in like the other podcast about fall stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But one of my favorite things to do like currently, or like usually, it's not really amazing or anything like that, but just like getting into like the spooky mood of like watching scary, or like the night, not really, I mean I guess nice, but like cool cold weather, and like the leaves changing, and like it's dark out but it's like not so dark, and then lights out and stuff. I don't know, it's kind of nice in a way.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, the maze thing is it's still possible to do that currently. I went on a maze, the cornfield maze, with Caroline a few years ago, and it was fun. I mean, the only thing, it's not really. I mean, it's alright. It's just you kind of get lost in the maze, and then I remember when we went in the maze, we were looking and seeing where to go for our next place. And then there was this one woman that was just so lost. She was asking for directions. She was like, where's the exit?" And I didn't even know where the exit was. I was just like, "Oh, it's somewhere over there." And she was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you. I was so lost for hours." And I was like, "Yup." Yeah.
That kind of sucks. If she's like, "Oh, I got lost in here for hours," I'm like, "Oh."
And I just misguided her because I didn't even know where the exit was. I was just like, "Yeah, it's over there." I felt so bad.
I mean, like, it's called a maze for a reason, but like losing yourself in it for like hours, that's kind of
Yeah,
a little bit.
That's bad. But I mean, when we got out of the maze, and we went over to the kiosk thing, or wherever it's called, we were there talking to the staff. I don't know what we were doing, but I think we were asking them about something, and I think at the same time that woman also left the maze, so I think she was able to find her way out at the end, so it's all good. But yeah, did you go trick-or-treating as a child? I think I already mentioned this already, how
Yeah.
I didn't go trick-or-treating because my parents thought if I got candy from other people, I'd get intoxicated or I'd get poisoned or something like that. So instead of doing that, we gave candy to other people.
I didn't go trick-or-treating, as I mentioned, and we had the idea of giving candy out, but we don't really celebrate it as much, even us, like, personally, so like we just never really thought about it. And there was this one instance where some kids did come to our house, and my grandma opened the door because she thought it was like my friends or whatever, and I'm like, they're not my friends. And then she like went and like tried to find some candy to give them or something.
Oh.
Yeah, like literally, I'm like, they're not my friends. Stop thinking everyone who comes to our house is my friend.
Oh. But hey, at least she tried to get candy for them. So.
Which is weird because like we only have like Asian candy or something, or like not even candy. So it's like, what do we give them?
My mom would have probably been like, "Oh, you guys get oranges or raisins."
Oh my god.
Yeah, literally, that's what my mom would do. But yeah, for us, we would basically just go to the Dollar Tree and get whatever candy there is, and then just give it to them. But that's only because a lot of kids from our neighborhood are just so annoying, and they would just expect candy. Because there's this one year where we stopped giving candy for the first time, And then the kids were so annoying because they kept going to our house. Even though we shut down all of the lights in our house, even the light on the front porch, they would still ring the doorbell and be trying to ask for candy. And it was just
like,
so
why?
annoying. Like, why? Can't you see, like, the whole house is dark?
Exactly.
I'm like, what the
Like,
heck?
Even as a child, you're supposed to see a house, and if it's dark, you're not supposed to, like, ring the doorbell.
Yeah, they were just being annoying at that point, so there was no point. But then after that, I guess they caught on that, like, later, as the years went by, we weren't giving out candy anymore, so they didn't bother us anymore. What's your favorite candy? What's your favorite kind of candy or treat?
Ooh. Like, who? Do you want to go, or do you want me to go?
Oh, you can go first.
Because, like, we technically kind of like the same thing. We like Kit Kats.
Oh, yeah. That's my favorite candy. I love
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We really like Kit Kats. And, like, for me, I used to like Skittles a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think I like, I also had, like, a phase when I was younger with Kit Kats. When I'd go to the store, or, like, when I, from, like, not all the time, but, like, very spread out times, we'd go to, like, a store or something, or, like, especially, like, Home Depot or, like, Lowe's, mainly Home Depot. It was, like, when we were younger, when I was younger,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd always get, like, the king size Kit Kats.
Oh, wow.
Because I was like, oh, Kit Kat, let's go. But right now, I still like Kit Kats, and, like, other types as well, but the first thing I'd get would probably be most likely Kit Kats. So.
Yeah. Same for me. Because before I used to be a fan of Hershey Kisses, basically a lot of things that involve with chocolate, Hershey bars, I guess. I've never really liked candy. You know how there's lollipops and gummy worms or whatever? I've never really been a fan of candy. I've always loved chocolate. Because other candy, I didn't really see the point of it. It was just sugar with some flavoring, like some artificial syrup flavoring. And I didn't really see the point of it. I like chocolate better. But for me, I love Kit Kats. If, you know, someone is trying to give me something for Valentine's Day, Kit Kat is the way to go for me. You can just give me, like, a huge Kit Kat. I'll enjoy it. I'll eat it right away. I love it. I could never deny Kit Kats. I just love it so much. I don't care if I get fat or if I get acne. I'll just
you're not even fat.
I mean, yeah, but later on I can burn it off. I can work out or something, but I just love Kit Kats so much. Because, I think last year, yes, when I was Mrs. Orr's, when I was the Spanish teacher assistant for the class, she then thanked me for being her assistant, and she gave me, like, a huge bar of Kit Kats. And I was the happiest person. there. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And I ate almost the whole entire thing in one sitting because I love it so much. I know it's
like
bad,
obsessed.
but I just love Kit Kat so much.
You love Kit Kats and avocados.
I do. I love avocados. Oh, actually, speaking about plushies, before we made this podcast, I was looking at brain plushies with Joy.
Oh no, yeah.
Because I think they're so cute. And it's a coincidence because I'm in college and I'm majoring in nursing, and also in my anatomy and physiology class, we're learning about the brain and the functions and anatomy and physiology about it. So it's kind of a coincidence, but I think it would also be really great if I got a plushie up with the avocados and the brain.
Yeah, oh my god.
That would be great. That would be fascinating. So, if my future boyfriend is listening, you already know what to get me.
Future boyfriend, okay.
He's probably not listening to this right now, but it'd be hilarious.
Also, I have two things. So, talking about candy, I actually candy and chocolate, I haven't really been eating a lot of candy, or like my palate, like as I've grown older, I don't really have like a desire to eat chocolate or candy as often, or like have a, crave for it. But I did have a moment that I was craving for chocolate, so that's a different story.
Oh,
But
really?
like, yeah, but like that was a whole different story. It was probably because I was low on sugar or something. I don't know.
I see.
But like that's like basically like the only thing I crave would be chocolate, but not like candy.
Yeah,
Sweets.
same. Like when I was a little kid, yeah, maybe candy. But then after that, I just didn't get candy. It just seemed just sugar with artificial syrup, and I just didn't see the point. And I started to prefer chocolate more. But lately nowadays, surprising, I thought I would be eating more chocolate during quarantine, but I haven't eaten chocolate in a very, very long time. Like I haven't eaten a Kit Kat since last year.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I kind of miss
Talking
them.
about candy is like making me want to have some.
Yeah,
Also,
I miss
especially
Kit
when you
Kats.
mentioned about like going to the Dollar Tree to get candy. Oh, making me want to go.
Yeah, I know. Like Dollar Tree is just straight across from my house. I could just walk over there and get Kit Kats.
I'm like, you're so lucky.
I could. I haven't. I mean, I would, but it's just I've been kind of busy, and then I've been busy, and I've been eating. I want to say I've been eating very healthy, but I've been eating sort of healthy, and I just find it strange that I haven't been eating chocolate in a while. I guess I just haven't thought about it or craved about it in a while.
You should treat yourself like
I should.
this week, especially Halloween. Treat yourself.
I know. I might just walk over to Dollar Tree and get myself some Kit Kats.
Exactly. I support the idea.
Exactly.
Also, then the second thing, you were talking about avocados and chocolate. For some reason, I have like this idea and craving to mix Kit Kats and avocado together.
Yeah, that's actually a thing.
Yeah, I want to do that now.
I've never tried it before, but it'd be so interesting to try it.
Oh man, that'd be so nice. Oh, dang, I don't even know how to feel.
I don't know, because for me, I don't know how to feel about avocados being, and like people say, scientists say that avocados are a fruit. I don't classify it as a fruit. I consider it more as a vegetable. So when I tried avocados as something sweet or more as in a dessert than something savory, it was very weird, and it was a weird texture. So I don't know how to feel about that, but I think the last time when I had the avocado smoothie with you, when I was at your house last year.
That was such a long time ago.
Yeah. When I tried it, I was like, wow, it's actually good.
It is good. Especially if you find like a good place who like that makes it very well. And it's like very nice. Very nice.
That's true. Also,
or I mean, obviously you can also make it at home.
Yeah. But also, just going back to Kit Kats real quick. You know how like there are different flavors of Kit Kats? So something that I definitely want to try is matcha Kit Kats. I've heard of them, or green tea Kit Kats or whatever they're called. I love green tea. I love matcha, and I love Kit Kats. So together combined, I bet they're a great combination. I would love to try that as well. But I don't think they sell them here in the U.S. You have to buy them somewhere, like online.
I'm like, so like, yeah, they do have them online, obviously, but also like, since like I'm an Asian, I go to Asian stores, obviously, so they have different flavors of Kit Kats. So I could try and hook you up with some, but like that's who knows when that's gonna be. But like also, since they're from like Japan, because Japan makes those types of flavors, they're a little pricey, to be honest. But I can
like
still
how
hook you
pricey?
up with some. Like for a bag, and like the Kit Kats are like miniature, and like they're individually wrapped. Probably like $4 to $5 for like a bag.
Oh.
But it's like not a small bag, but it's like a small medium-sized bag.
It's still worth it. Like, yeah, they're kind of expensive, I guess. But I mean, I like to try it once, so
True,
it's
and
worth
there's
it.
like also like multiple different flavors as well. So I wish I'd have like enough money, or like not money conscious enough to buy them, especially because I am money conscious. So like I want to try the flavors, but just the price is a little off putting. But
We actually have an idea.
what is the idea?
But I'll tell you after the podcast.
All right.
Okay. So, going on with what we just left off. So, okay, so in the future, would you ever let your kids go trick or treating?
Probably, most likely, at least like a few years for them to understand what it's like, and stuff, like unlike me who never been able to, but I would let them go trick-or-treating.
Would you let them go by themselves though?
Not by themselves just yet. Like obviously I'd go with them for a while and figure out if they're like responsible enough to go by themselves and whatnot, and depending where they go and how long they're gonna go and when they're gonna be back, all that good stuff.
Yeah. For me, I'm not so sure. I kind of have a bad stigma about Halloween already, so I'm not so sure if I'd let them go trick or treating. Plus, I just think it's really dangerous because around these times, it gets darker sooner, so it can be kind of dangerous to just go out and ask for candy, even though because then there's also, I don't know, there's also the stigma that my parents have given me, how you should always be wary of the things other people give you, because you never know if the candy that they give you is already intoxicated or has poison in them. I don't know. That's just me thinking in a more negative way. So I'm not so sure if I'd let them. I think I'd probably do the same thing as my parents have done with me, which would be rather than, asking for candy or going around and getting candy, I would probably give candy instead. Or maybe just do like a fun activity like pumpkin carving and decorating pumpkins, and that's it.
True. Pumpkin carving would be good.
Yeah. Alright, so we have a would you rather question. So, would you rather get bitten by a vampire or bitten by a zombie? I think, okay, I'll answer this first. I think I'd rather get bitten by a vampire.
Yes.
Because by a zombie, I feel like it would just be too messy. Like, they'll just go straight from my brain, straight from my organs, straight for everything. And it would just be so messy, and I wouldn't want that. Like, with a vampire, it'll just be quick. It'll just be like a snatch, like, real quick, like, done. Like, it'll just be a quick snatch, and then they'll just suck your blood, and then you're dead, and then that's it. I feel like that would be much more better than a zombie eating my organs away.
Like, also, you haven't technically watched a lot of zombie movies and stuff, so
yeah, I'd rather not.
With vampires, I think from what they show, like, they usually bite like your necks and stuff, or somewhere else. But when they bite, they like just bite once and they suck your blood. But like with zombies, they literally bite you and like eat your skin and meat off.
Yeah, it's like, just messy.
They rip it off.
Yeah, it's just really messy. So
it's not just messy, but it's like freaking painful.
Yeah, I'd rather not. For vampires, like, yeah, I let you suck on my blood. Go ahead, take my blood away. But yeah. So, in a zombie apocalypse, what would your weapon of choice be? Okay, so personally, I've never really thought about this deeply because I've always heard other people be like, oh, so what would you do during a zombie apocalypse? Plus, at the same time, would it even happen? Like, is it even possible for people to become zombies in the first place? But I don't know. I mean, at the same time, I don't know much either, so I can't I don't know. But what weapon would I bring? So am I only allowed to bring one weapon? Or can I bring multiple?
I don't know. It says what would be your weapon of choice, or
I guess
I
it's
don't
just
know.
singular. I'm gonna assume it's singular. What would be my weapon of choice? Ooh, I have one, but I don't know what it's called. Not a launcher. It's like, oh, a machine gun. Yeah, a machine gun. I would bring that with me. I would bring a machine gun, or a bow and arrow. Not a
like
bow and
going
arrow.
crazy.
What's it called? It's like this thing. It's not really a bow and arrow, but it's like this thing. I don't know how to explain it. I guess a bow and arrow. I don't know. What would you bring?
For me, okay, so like I was so into like The Walking Dead when I was younger, and like I was like I thought I was so smart and stuff, but I was like so dumb. So like when I was younger, I thought of like bringing like my weapon, quote unquote weapon, would be pencils.
Pencils.
Because like okay, so like they're corpses, right? This is my mindset. So like, you know, zombies are like corpses or like decaying and stuff. And you know, pencils you don't really run out of. Like you could like literally find them everywhere. Technically, pens are pencil, and like, you know, they're like literally like little small stakes of wood. So like technically you could like try and like, depending on how soft the skull is, you could like try and stab the eyeball into the brain or like back of their head, depending if like you're stealthy enough. But you know, that was my mindset.
Oh dang.
Pencils, okay, because like pencils, like, you know, pencils are like super easy. They're not like, you know, it's only for like zombies or whatever. But like if it's like with people, obviously you can't defend yourself with the pencil.
I mean, you can technically. You can stab their eyeballs and then hit them in their jugular vein.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, that's true. You could, if you're like, you know, if you're violent enough, you could literally stab anyone.
Yeah, but that's only if you're strong enough and you have the guts for it.
And I'm like, I'm not that strong. But but like my weapon of choice, I haven't also thought of this at all. But like your first choice of like the machine gun, I was like, okay, I didn't know we could do that.
I mean, it says weapon of choice, so I'm assuming it's anything.
I don't know, honestly. I'm too dumb for this. I don't know. Cause like, you know, guns and stuff, you gotta like reload, and then if you have like a sword or a samurai katana,
yeah, but it's the same thing with a sword and a katana. Like with machine guns, you run out of bullets, but then with a katana or with a sword, it'll get dull once you use it a lot.
But then you'd also sharpen it.
Yeah, but what if you don't have a sharpener?
You know. The first thing I thought of when you said a sharpener was a pencil sharpener.
Pencil like, sharpener.
I don't know, when you know, if you're smart, you can sharpen it if you know how to sharpen sword.
Yeah, but now everyone has those capabilities.
I don't know. Okay, it's better to sharpen it than loot around for bullets, I think. Cause like, you know. Actually, I don't know. It was so weird. Okay, we can't talk about this. This is getting out of hand.
But yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so have you ever used an Ouija board and what happened? No, I've never used an Ouija board, but I've heard stories about it. I think this person from a church said how a testimony about how someone used an Ouija board and invoked some spirit or something like that. I don't even know.
For me though, I have used an Ouija board before with like a friend.
Wait, with who?
With Marilyn, actually, like about 2 years ago, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So we did it at her house because it was safer, since her family's more religious, has holy water, and does all these like spiritual things.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, also like her house is kind of like slightly haunted in the past too, so it was like kind of quote unquote safer, or like reasonable for it to happen in the house. And
Oh gosh.
But don't worry, we were safe. So we did it. We didn't really have an Ouija board, but I created one. And it still worked. So we did that, and we did it outside because it was safer, or like the only way to do it, because like we didn't want to like have her parents know about it. So we did it outside, and she burned something like a small fire in a pot outside to like do something with spirits. So like we contacted like not a few, but like we contacted very few of them and stuff. It was interesting. It was like different questions. We were very awed and curious about it because like, no one was moving like peace intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff, so it was like very weird. They all didn't really have a villainous, but like the last one was like a very like evil devil kind of spirit. So like when they first spelled their name out on the board, we knew that it was like a really bad spirit, and like we should really bail out. So we quickly said goodbye, and like lifted our hands off of the piece. But I was like super cautious, and I was like still holding it, and I was like, what do I do? What do I do? And stuff. So then I was like, and then I quickly said goodbye, and then I was like slightly paranoid about it because I don't want to bring home a devil to my house. So we went back inside to our kitchen. Well, we burned like the pieces and stuff in the fire. We ripped it and then burned it, and then we went back inside. She had like some holy water in her kitchen cabinet, and she splashed it on me.
Oh, dang.
And then that's technically it. That was, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever do that. Plus, especially for my religion, doing things like that are just a big no-no.
Yeah.
Also, but also,
with you said some stuff about how you've seen people do it.
Not seen, but
like,
heard.
Like, heard, and yeah, but like also on YouTube, people like record the experiences and stuff. So like that kind of happens. That happens. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird because I don't know. It's just so scary. I wouldn't do that ever. Like, I prefer not to mess with spirits or whatever there is in the other world. Like, they can do whatever they want. I don't want to interfere or do anything. So, all right. Have you ever had an explainable experience with the supernatural? I don't really understand this question.
Well, like, I technically already kind of like answered it with like the Ouija board. But I think it asks about like if you had any like spooky encounters with spirits or ghosts and stuff.
No. I mean, no, I've never had an experience like that. I mean, no. I mean, it's supernatural. I mean, I've had experience with God, I guess, but not really with spirits or anything like that. I mean, I don't have any personal experience, but I know my mom, she's had some experience with it. Like, for example, when she lived in Mexico, she would say how she would have experience about how, like, a devil would possess a person over there, and then a pastor from the church would have to get them out of their possession and get the devil from, and they would have to rebuke the devil from that person or something like that. back in Mexico, and that was actually a real thing that happened, and I do believe that, but that's pretty much it.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah. So
Is that all?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. There isn't really much. I don't really have much experience. Yeah, so I guess that's the end of their questions, and we're nearing the end of the time as well. So, we're gonna go to our sponsors for today.
Yay!
Yay! So our first sponsor is a square and a space, because learning is power. Then we have Getting That Bread app. Download it today to get some money.
Money.
Then we have Room Connections. Ring ring. Then we have we are also sponsored by Mattress the Ghost. And then we also have Kupo.
The one who wrote it down doesn't know.
I don't even know. I wrote these a long time ago. So I don't even know what I'm talking about. It goes brr. What the heck? I must have run out of ideas or something. Like there's
Yeah,
so
you could.
random.
Yeah, you would.
I'm like, what the heck are these? Yeah, because I think on that day I wrote them all at once, so I pretty much ran out of ideas. But yeah, so those are our sponsors for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. So yeah, that's it. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.